Years ago, I was intensely focused on developing my belt voice. Power, loudness, make my voice cut through the mix, throw my voice out. I was doing a lot of things wrong, and it was causing me to burn out and lose my voice. And I shared a lot of misconceptions with a lot of other vocalists that I happened to be around, that belting was this all-in sort of thing. It's not. And part of the problem was the vocalists I was incorrectly drawing inspiration from. Not that they were necessarily doing anything wrong, but the way I was interpreting what they were doing and then trying to make those sorts of things come out in my own voice was really screwing me up. Nirvana, Lithium, Live and Loud, Seattle, 1993. I mean, he's just all in, and it's gritty, and it sounds amazing. Now that, and performances like it, were what I was trying to build my belt on. That's not really even belting. Belting is a powerful upper chest, generally forward or thrown as a call out into your audience. No. Yes, but I would belt even more effectively if I was up higher in my chest voice. No. Let's throw the resonance a little forward. Let's feel it in the front of my face and behind the front of my teeth. Let's open up. Let's give it more support. Versus Hear how I grew that belt? I can do it now, and I can maintain it, but I learned how to build it differently. I learned how to feel out the sensations, but belting didn't really make sense to me until I heard Maynard do something really interesting on Judith live performance. It's not like you dropped a hateful spirit to his side. When he's going up there and getting that grit, that's not necessarily belting. You can be powerful and loud and even gritty and high and without actually belting. Belting is more of a placement and a posture. It has nothing to do with loudness necessarily. Listen what he does with He Did It All For You. Okay, listen again. He did it all for you. Notice the dynamics. Some of it is out there and forward and thrown and belted. Some of it is not. You see, I began to learn that proper belting technique involves transition and traveling through lines, finessing lines with elements of belt, but not locking myself into it. Which, whether Kurt was locking himself into anything, I'm not really judging that. I'm just saying that that's what I initially pulled from it. If I were to sing it like I was interpreting Kurt singing it and putting it in my own voice, it would be like this. He did it all for you! I'm not taking into consideration where my voice performs best in a belt, which is in that upper chest, which is a normal thing. And I'm not letting myself arc any sort of dynamics or change around my placement at all. And so the belting that I'm doing, while maybe right part of the time, just gets messed up because I plow into this. Oh, I'm working on my belt. I got to be powerful. I got to be loud. I got to be that all the time. It's this sneaky thing that happens to us singers. When we try to do something, we try to go all in all the time, and that usually ends up tripping us up. So let's go back to this line again. Let's practice that. Let's place it back a little bit. Oh, I'm going to mildly swallow it, and it's not going to be I'm going to feel it through my nose a little bit, feel it in my ears and sort of the back of my head. And then I'm going to take that to the beginning of the line. He did. And then I'm going to, I'm going to throw the resonance forward. I'm going to belt it. I'm going to throw it. He did it all for you. He did it all for you. There's a dynamic, there's a connectedness, there's a tangibleness to that just feels good in my voice and sounds good. And overall, it sounds belted. If you would like help building the right foundation of support and resonance and placement so that you can begin to build a healthy, powerful, and well-supported belt voice, click the link below in the pinned comment or video description, and I'll help you build that foundation and pull way more things out of your voice you never knew were there. And another great piece of advice I got along the way when it came to belting was, we're not in a theater with no mics using our room acoustics to amplify the sound of our voice or trying to sing over something unmiked. Modern vocalists, whether they're in the studio or they're doing something live, they're singing through a mic. So let the mic do the work. And when it comes to projecting your voice, your job, especially when you're belting, is to play with the resonance and placement in your own voice and interact with the way the mic picks up your voice. And it doesn't need to be loud to do that. Your sound engineer or you can move your fingers and tweak a knob to get the volume right. You want to focus on tone, placement, and intensity, but you don't have to be loud. So when I go, he did it all for you, I'm not pushing to get my tone. I mean, I'm supporting and I'm being engaged with my support, but I'm not pushing to be loud. I'm not belting so I can be loud. I'm belting to get a certain sort of belted or calling out sort of tone. He did it all for you. When I think about my belt voice as interacting with the mic and interacting with my placement and the dynamic ways I let my voice resonate, it becomes so much more full than if I'm just trying to be loud or turn up the power. So when belting is a function of placement, when I'm thinking about it and experiencing it that way, rather than just adding more, and that's really what I learned from this Maynard James Keenan performance, as well as that wonderful advice to let the mic do the work and the interaction that you have with your placement and the mic. So let yourself experience dynamics and variety in context and learn to play with your voice in various transitions as you work on developing your belt voice. And you're going to go way further, way more quickly, with much more freedom than I initially did. Again, if you would like help developing the tools necessary and getting the right foundation to work on your belt voice and much more, click that link below and join my free course, linked in the video description or pinned comment. And for more advice on how to belt, try this video.